Alberto, can you hear me? Because I can't hear the teacher.
I cannot hear you, but
Yes, it's okay. My connection too, and yours. No, teacher, I can't hear you. I think it is your connection or your settings. I don't know.
Okay, the moment of truth. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, it's okay.
yes.
Excellent. Okay, I don't know why that sometimes happens, but anyway, I'm going to start this whole thing again. So, sorry about that confusion at the beginning. Welcome to the class. I'm Teacher Amy. This class is basically an advanced, intermediate to advanced speaking level class. We're going to be discussing traffic, and our topic is sort of on the engineering sort of theme today. So we're going to be looking at some vocab which can help you talk about engineering, that kind of situation. We're going to be reading quite an interesting article about a place, well, basically a development of a kind of traffic system that stops congestion, which is quite innovative and interesting. Looking at some vocab that we can use when we want to talk about this kind of stuff. So if you are preparing for any of the English exams like IELTS, then it's a good class to come to practice your speaking and to increase your vocab a little bit. We'll be discussing the traffic or the transport situation in the places where we live or where we come from. And it's going to be an interesting class basically talking about this kind of engineering-related topic. So check out the chat box if you would like to access some pages that can help you here with your experience on Verbling. There is the Facebook page, that's the first of the two links there, and also my Verbling teacher page. All of the teachers have one of these, and if you want to go and find out more about us or check out our private tutoring availability, write us a message, this is the place to go. So do click on those links if you have time. So let's say hello to the students that we've got this morning or this evening for you guys. First of all, Alberto, hello. Are you there?
Hi, Amy. How are you today?
Good, thank you, Alberto. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Excellent. Glad to hear that. Have you been studying all day or working? What have you been doing today?
I was working all day.
Okay, you've been working all day, so you must be pretty tired, Alberto.
Yeah.
Yes, he is tired. His brain is not working for English. Don't worry, Alberto. I'll try to be nice and gentle on you, okay?
Yes.
Poor Alberto,
Thank you.
I'm not sure. All right, you can hear me. That's good. Welcome to the class. Who else do we have here? Alejandro, hello.
Hello, teacher.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Excellent.
I couldn't be better.
You couldn't be better. Well, that's great news, Alejandro. How come? Did you have a particularly good day today?
No, my day, it's good.
Your day was good. Glad to hear it. All
Thank
right. Well, welcome. Mary, how are you doing today? And thank you for pointing out that you couldn't hear me at the beginning of class.
No worries, teacher. I've been doing great, teacher. I've been doing great, like a lot of students here too.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Have you been commenting on any blogs lately since yesterday?
I don't understand. Sorry, can you repeat?
I said, have you been commenting on any blogs since yesterday?
Oh, no. Yesterday, Yesterday, I think two messages, no more. But today, nothing.
Today, nothing. All right. We had a lesson on websites yesterday, sort of. All right. Welcome, Amari. It's great to have you.
Thank
Hugo,
you.
hello. Are you there, Hugo? Or
Yes,
Hugo?
thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm well, thank you. Tell me about your picture. Where are you? Standing in front of a teepee.
Yes, this picture was taken in Calgary, Canada.
Mhm.
The what kind of festival there that
Yep.
is called Stampede.
Okay.
So it's the typical house for indigenous, you know.
Yes, that's absolutely right. And when did you go to Canada, Hugo?
Yes, I was there just for vacation.
Mhm.
Um, but last year,
Mhm.
1 month, and it was very amazing.
All right. What did you do? Just travel around, visit.
Yes, just travel around. I was in Banff.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
university close to Calgary,
Mhm.
uh, around 2 hours driving. That was very amazing landscape.
Yeah.
You know, is one of the most towns visit tourist attraction.
Yep.
That's it.
All
Probably
right. Well, thank you.
yes.
What would you say was the best thing about your trip to Canada?
What about? Sorry.
What would you say was the best thing about the trip? If you had to tell me one thing which was the best thing.
Probably the day when I was in Banff.
Yep.
Uh, Not exactly Banff. Is there are many lakes in Canada. Is this lake is called Lake Louise.
Mhm.
So it's around half an hour from Banff.
Mhm.
Very beautiful landscape. So
Wow.
it probably was the best day in the vacation, that vacation.
Okay. Very interesting. Well, thank you for telling us all about it. And I haven't asked you, which country are you from?
Colombia.
All right. Well, welcome. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And hello to Raphael.
Hello, Amy.
Okay, Raphael, are you ready for your question of the day?
Okay, go ahead.
What am I going to ask you today? Okay, I'll ask you something related to what I was saying with Hugo. What's the best holiday you've ever been on? Where did you go and why was it the best holiday?
Sorry, especially for me.
No, this is for Raphael,
Sorry.
Hugo. No worries. I think he's thinking.
Yes, my brain is kind of slow today. Let me see. A calm place, peaceful,
Mm-hmm.
with no traffic, because I think we're going to read a test about traffic. With no pollution, we can, in which, in where we only can. All I have to do is seize the day, uh, enjoy the nature, and
Mm-hmm.
look to the stars in order to relax and have some fun.
You know
Yeah.
where you should come? New Zealand.
Oh yes, the
It
Middle
fits your
Earth.
description perfectly.
Okay, I think I'm gonna move to New Zealand.
All right. The only problem is it's quite a long way, Raphael.
I think I'll put in my to-do encyclopedia.
You need to do encyclopedia. So it's more than a list.
Yes, it's a
I love it.
huge list.
All right. Well, welcome to the class, Raphael. As I mentioned before, everybody, we're going to be talking about traffic today, and I think this is, well, we're not going to make it boring. We're going to make it exciting. It's something that affects us all, and I think we probably all agree that it's not very much fun if you have to spend half of your day sitting in traffic jams. Some of us have jobs which mean that we have to travel out. Luckily, actually, one of my jobs, this one right here, I don't have to go anywhere, so it's very advantageous from that point of view. But there are always times when we do have to go out in the car, we get stuck in traffic. We're going to talk about that today. How bad is the traffic in the place where we live? And what does our city or our area do about that? What's the public transport like? And what are your solutions to that problem? How do you get around it? Or do you just sort of try to get through it? So if you want to load up the article that we're going to look at today, we're going to spend a bit of time practicing our reading, but also learning some vocab from this article, which is pretty interesting. I won't give too much away, so if you just load that one up, you should be able to see it now on your screen. And we're going to sort of take it in turns to read. So we'll go nice and slowly, take your time, as always. Use the chance to practice your pronunciation, and there may be some new words in there that you don't know. Have a go at them. If you get stuck, I will help you. And we're going to read about traffic problems. All right, so Alberto, could you read the title for us, please?
A system to cut city traffic that just might work.
Brilliant. This word here is cut.
Cut. Perfect.
Yeah. It's a little bit different from the vowel sound that you find, for example, in the word put, right? So they're actually different, put and cut.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Alberto. There's a nice picture that I'm sure we've all seen or experienced before, guys. So this is Beijing, China. Has anyone been to Beijing?
No, no.
No? Well, I have, and this is
Not
pretty
yet.
much exactly what it looks like. So I can vouch for the validity of this picture. Obviously, the air pollution is one of the results of bad traffic. And you can see it pretty clearly in this picture, or should I say, like it's the opposite of clear. The air sort of is making the picture look all grey, and it's rather depressing. So traffic isn't just annoying, it actually causes other problems too. We're going to read about it now, so we'll scroll down past that. And Alberto, if I can get you to continue reading the first paragraph, please.
Okay. Traffic sucks. Congestion is bad for the environment, health, hygiene, and maybe most importantly, our sanity. One solution gaining in popularity amongst urban governments is the congestion charging scheme, in which the drivers pay a toll to enter designated downtown areas. London, Stockholm, and Milan all have such system in place, and New York came close to trying it out in 2007. Sorry. Those efforts are whispered compared to Singapore programs, which was introduced in 1975. Over the past few decades, the city-state has upgraded the system, which now uses radio transmitter to detect cars entering designated areas.
Thank you, Alberto. Well done. Let's have a look at a few words in here. All right, this one here is scheme. So, Alberto,
Could
if
you
you just
repeat, please?
repeat it after me. Yeah, sure. Scheme.
Please. Scheme.
That's
Okay.
correct. So this is a bit of a confusing spelling, I know. But if you just imagine the
Yeah.
H is not there, so it's silenced, helps a bit.
Okay, perfect.
This one here, you pronounce really well the second time, so you got the hang of that. So this is designated.
Designated, perfect.
Very good. Not designated, right? Which could accidentally get confused. This one, first syllable, it's efforts.
Effort.
Yeah, exactly. So that's quite a useful one to remember, Alberto, because it comes up quite a bit. And then a bit of a strange one here. A whippersnapper.
Oh. Whisper Nesper? Oh, no, sorry, could you
Let me
repeat,
give it
please?
to you again. Whippersnapper.
Whippersnappers.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll come back to the meaning of that in a moment. Last one here is decades.
Decades.
Yeah, excellent. All right, now I'm going to go back to whippersnapper. It's a great word, this. Who knows what it means?
No.
Nobody? Does anyone have any guesses or ideas? No?
Looking into the context, I might presume that is they are smaller than, or something like much smaller than, or something like that.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Raphael. So a whippersnapper is usually used, it's a word used by older people, right? They say, oh, that young whippersnapper, and basically they're annoyed because there's somebody who's younger than them and is maybe a little bit overconfident. It's usually used to describe a person, so a child, or not really a child, maybe an adolescent or a younger person. Being a bit annoying and overconfident. But in this case, it's talking about, really, as you said, Raphael, something that's very young and immature compared to what we've got in Singapore. So anyone want to ask any questions about the other vocab? No? Okay, I think it's quite straightforward. Alright, before we get started on finding out about this actual program, let's just have a brief talk about where we live as individuals. Just tell me, what's the traffic like in your city or your area, and how often do you have to sit in it? So do you often try to avoid it? Do you have to drive your car every day? Let's ask Raphael first of all.
Really? Why me?
I don't know, really.
Well, just kidding. Well, I think sucks. It's a good adjective for the traffic here where I live. Not an adjective, but it's awful. It's stressful. It's polluted. It's how many adjectives do you want?
As many as you can think of.
Sorry, this is too bad. It's
horrendous. Horrendous.
Horrendous, yes. It's. I think we're getting closer to Beijing. I think their traffic is worse. It might be worse, but I think we're getting there.
Okay, so it's really, really bad, Raphael.
Yes.
All right, now could you tell everybody, in case they haven't met you before, which city do you live in Brazil?
I'm from Rio de Janeiro.
Right, so what I'm going to do is just put like Rio, and then what would you say if you had to rate it out of 10? So 10 out of 10 is like superb traffic. 1 out of 10 is the worst you could ever imagine. What would you say?
1 is the worst or the best?
1 is the worst.
Nowadays, I would give 2.5.
Okay. So we're just going to give our opinions, just so that we can compare the places we live. So 2.5 out of 10 for Rio. Thanks, Raphael. Okay, Hugo.
Yes.
Whereabouts do you live in Colombia? Which city or which place?
Yes, I live in Bogota. the
Okay.
capital city of the country.
Yep.
So in my city, it's terrible also, the
Mhm.
situation. There are many traffic jams. Uh,
Yep.
Most of them toward downtown, but even in the surrounded areas of the downtown also it's complicated because I think that um, there is a lack of mm, efficient system, public
Yep.
system. So we have old system to public transportation. Uh,
Mhm.
so I think that it's probably one of the cause of this chaotic situation.
One of
Uh,
the causes. Mhm.
yes. So there are many populations here, but I know that um, there are many cities big as Bogota, for example,
Yep.
that has a lot of system um, to to solve this kind of problems. But we have just bus bus public
Mhm.
transportation. Uh,
Public bus. Yep.
yes, big bus. Sorry, but we don't have, for example, train or subway or something like that.
Mhm.
So it's a big problem, big trouble for us to move from one side to another side of the city. Yes, it's very annoying to
All
ride.
right. Hugo, that's a really great description. You've given me a really good idea of what it's like. If you had to rate it out of 10, just like Raphael, with 1 being absolutely horrific and 10 being amazing, what would you say for Bogota?
Oh, probably 4.
4 out of 10. All right. Thank you, Hugo. Okay, Amari, tell us about where you live. Guadalajara, is that right? No? Relying on my memory. Are you there, Amari? No, maybe he's gone outside to check what the traffic's like. Let's see what Alejandro says. Alejandro, where do you live in Spain? Barcelona, is that right? No, Catalonia.
Yes,
You live in
I live.
Barcelona?
Yes, I live in Barcelona. Yes.
All right, tell us about the traffic.
Um, well, Barcelona is where we're building for a long time. Uh, it hasn't designed for for the traffic.
Yeah.
It's a small city,
Mhm.
and here in Spain, families have 2 or 3 cars.
Yep.
It's very difficult drive and uh, yeah.
Okay, so it's difficult to drive. How about other types of transport? Alejandro, I've been to Barcelona once before, and I actually found it really pleasant because I could hire a bicycle and I could cycle around Barcelona. And I also found it very easy to walk. It seems to be very good for pedestrians. So what's your impression about other forms of transport in Barcelona? How do you find that?
I use public transport.
Yeah?
It's better than a car.
Yep.
You can arrive very fast. to
Yep.
your destination. Um, there are many bicycles in the city,
Mhm.
but I'm afraid
Yeah.
because it's dangerous.
Yeah, because of the traffic.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand. That's quite similar to, well, I think that's the case in many places. All right, so Alejandro, if you have to rate Barcelona out of 10, what would you say? 1 is the worst, 10 is the best. What score would you give out of 10?
Um, with traffic,
Yeah.
the problem of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
10.
10 is the best, so 10 means that there is no problem at all.
0.
0. Really that bad? Okay. Thank you, Alejandro. Okay, Alberto, your turn.
Okay.
Where do you live, Alberto? Sorry, I've forgotten.
I'm living in Bogota, Colombia.
Okay, so let's see if you agree with Hugo.
Yes, of course. I think it's worse.
All right, so you think that it's worse than 4 out of 10?
I think it's 1 of 10. 1 of 10.
All right, and what's your experience, Alberto? How often do you have to drive in the traffic?
Every day.
Oh dear.
Every
Is
day.
that to get to work and back?
Oh, but maybe 2 years ago, I was living in another place. Um, I need to change my home because the traffic. I spend more or less 2 hours between the home to the office.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
a lot in one trip. Yes, almost 4 hours in driving my car for a day.
Yeah, that
Yes,
is.
but was terrible. And this is the reason that I changed my home
Mhm.
for another one that is close to the office. And now I spend about 20 minutes between the office to home.
All right, that's a big improvement by the sounds of things.
Yes, and a lot of the people spend maybe 2, 3 hours in one trip
Mhm.
in to go to his work.
Goodness me, that is tough. That sounds awful. Well, thank you, Alberto. I'm just put some vocab into the chat box, guys. That's quite useful and often not really known much. The word commute or commuter or I did just put that in there twice. The commute is basically what we use to describe the journey to and from work. We call it a commute, and it's quite a good word to remember because you don't have to describe anything else. It says it all. And a commuter is the person who does that trip. So you guys, well, Alberto is a commuter, and his commute now takes 20 minutes rather than the length of time it took before. If you say the words a round trip, it means there and back. It means that you're including both legs of the journey. And you can, if you want to tell me how long it takes to get somewhere, you can say it takes me an hour to get there, or it takes me an hour to get home. So there's a bit of vocab there for you guys to use during today's lesson. And now I'm going to ask Amari about his experience. Amari, tell us about you. Are you there?
Hello, hello.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, we can hear you now. Great.
Oh, I don't know. My connection it's not good today. It's raining today, and a lot of connection in Mexico. It's like I don't know. It's bad.
Internet
Okay.
traffic.
Yeah, internet traffic. Okay. About experience in traffic in Guadalajara or in another city?
Yeah,
I don't know. Ah,
in
okay.
Guadalajara, why not?
Usually in Guadalajara, it's very good for me because I am working very close to my house, so I get 5 minutes to go in my job or to go in the shop or in the downtown.
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
I think it's very good the traffic in Guadalajara, but when it's get rainy, it's not good because a lot of people it's like stupid people driving a car here. I don't know why. For example, if you get a car and it's raining right now, for example,
Mm.
you will see a lot of people crash their car. It's not good. I don't know why. The people, it's not good to drive in the rain in Guadalajara. Uh, yes, teacher. It's very strange. In a normal day, it's very okay. It's nice. It's beautiful to drive. But when it gets rain, it's not
When
good.
it rains. When it rains.
When it rains, okay.
Yeah. That,
When I was living in Ciudad de Mexico in the south of Mexico, it's terrible the traffic there because there are a lot of cars, and if you needed to go 8 a.m. in your company or something like that, it's impossible because doesn't exist a good way to do.
okay, so it's quite different depending on where you are in the country.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Amari. That's a great description. It's not funny that people have crashes in the rain, but it just seems a little bit strange. And the Mexicans
Yes.
can't drive in the rain. They should maybe British people who go to Mexico will be better at it because we're just driving in the rain all the time.
Yes, I never crash my car, but when I changed my life to live in Mexico, someone crashing my car. Oh my gosh, I hate that.
Yeah, oof, absolutely. So, Amari, if you have to rate Guadalajara, what would you give it out of 10? 10 is brilliant and 1 is terrible for traffic.
The traffic in Guadalajara it's like eight.
8 out of 10. That's very good. And what about Mexico City?
Oh my gosh, it's zero. Zero. It's like my city in Brazil, São Paulo. It's like one, two. It's very terrible.
All right.
But sometimes I don't get stressed when I am driving and I get a big traffic or something like that because a lot of I like to sing into the car, and
Mm-hmm.
so I forgot the time, I forgot the problem, so whatever.
Okay, I love that. I'm going to type that as a solution to stress in the chat box. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome,
Okay, we're
teacher.
going to carry on reading, and I'll get Alejandro to read from But, please. Alejandro, But 2.
Yes. But to MIT, researchers think they've got a better way of doing things. They've tested out a new method and won an award doing it. That eliminates the need for the cameras and sensors in the street that see where cars are going. That makes the system as a whole much more flexible and useful, since borders can be changed on the fly to reflect the actual traffic conditions. As an added bonus, the system doesn't just penalize drivers for entering certain zones, it helps them avoid them altogether.
Great. Wonderful reading. Well done, Alejandro. Just one word here. This is entering.
Entering.
Good. Okay, any questions, guys? Nope. All right. Amari, you're up, please. The Roadrunner system.
Okay, the Roadrunner system, developed for Singapore by graduate student Japan Gao and his advisor Li Xianpei, I don't know, ensures a digital token to each car entering a congestion-prone area. Once a given number of tokens are assigned, a car can't enter unless another vehicle leaves. Everyone else gets turn-by-turn direction to avoid the area. In computer simulations use data from Singapore's Land Transit Authority, Gao and Pe saw an 8% increase in average car speed during periods of peak congestion. They also did a small-scale test in Cambridge, Mass. to prove the technology works. Oh my gosh.
Amari, that was good. Don't worry. It was great reading. Well, you said every word correctly. You just got to take your time so that you can.
Yes, I think I stopped a lot of time because I don't know the pronunciation about the different names from Asia or Japan or China. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, join the club, Amari. But yeah, you're right. Sometimes like confusing names can put you off. That's true. But other than that, really good reading. And this is short for Massachusetts, right? One of the states in the USA. So that's why it's got a dot after it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we've read the first little bit, guys. And we've read about what these two researchers from MIT have come up with in Singapore. So I'm going to ask anybody, can you explain in your own words how the Roadrunner system works? How does it stop traffic from becoming congested?
Sorry, teacher, what is the question?
The question is, we just read about the Roadrunner system. So this is the system that these two Asian boys developed, right? How does it work, basically? What happens?
I think the Roadrunner, it's like the ways, the street or something like that, the system in a specific country.
Yep, absolutely. And how does it stop the traffic from becoming congested? What do these guys do? What is the system?
Good question.
Amari, you're off the hook because you read. So one of the other four has to answer this. It explains it. Here, guys.
Yes, teacher. I needed to explain about the text.
Yeah, well, you don't have to, Amari, because you already read, so you can just have a break for a moment, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Teacher.
Yes, go, Hugo.
I think that the system is about one develop to that allowed enter certain amount of cars.
Correct. Yep.
To the city, but it is just limit amount of the cars that is in one determined time.
Yep.
So the rest of the when the limit is full is not more enough space to more cars.
Yeah.
The system penalize or even doesn't allow to enter more cars to the city. or
Absolutely.
to the place. I don't know exactly. Probably this system is building to the to go to downtown or something like that.
Yes, yes, exactly right. Well done. That was a great explanation. Quite tricky to describe, but you did great. So let me just summarize it so it's all clear for everybody. Basically, this system, it's called the Roadrunner system. And there, obviously, I think in most cities, there are certain parts of the city, like maybe downtown, that are specifically worse than other parts, right? More congested, more traffic jams. So the way it works, basically, is that a car arrives, say, on the outskirts of this city area, like downtown, and they are given a token, some kind of a little coin type thing. And they're allowed to enter the area, and once a certain number of cars have entered, say, I don't know, 1,000, I don't know how many it is, but a certain number, then no more cars are allowed to enter unless another car leaves. So once a car leaves that area, they give back their token, then another car can go in. And if you arrive at the area and you want to enter, but the tokens are all used up, then you can't. And you're given directions, which is kind of what we call a diversion, to avoid that area so that you can't enter it. So does everyone understand how it works? What I'm going to ask you guys is, what do you think about this? Do you think this would actually work in your city? So just have a think about the traffic. Would it work? Are there certain areas of your city that get more congested than others? I think that's one key problem or point to remember. And also, do you think it's possible for cars to sort of go around if they're not allowed to enter? So let's see what Alberto says. What do you say about Bogota, Alberto? Do you think this system could work?
I don't think so. The problem in my city is we don't have good good ways, good system of
Infrastructure?
transportation.
Okay, so keep going.
Yes, the problem is that we don't have ways and the streets. Our streets are small, and it don't can take a lot of cars.
Yep.
Yes.
So that's
It's
so what
another
we could
problem.
say there, Alberto, yeah, is that the infrastructure is not good. Infrastructure is referring to how the city is set up to manage all of the things that have to happen in a city, like traffic or communication or whatever. So why do you think specifically it would not work? Is it that the whole city is congested rather than one area?
It's not in specific. Well, okay, in specific areas, you can get in the specific areas because it's too crowded.
Okay.
But it's about the streets. It's not too much streets.
Okay, so there's not enough actual
It's not
space,
enough.
you don't think?
It's not,
Okay.
yes.
All right, let's see. Ugo, do you agree with Alberto?
A little bit, but I think that is a solution like a roadrunner system. It could be a good idea, but at the same time we have to think in other possible solutions at together.
Mm-hmm.
Very the problem is very huge, so we have to implement many tools, many ideas to solve it. Probably implement polls at the outside of the to enter to the city. Probably. Or I agree with Alberto, because the infrastructure is very old.
Yeah.
So it needs to be modernized.
Okay.
But at the same time, we have to stimulate another ways to transportation, like bicycles. Yes.
Yep.
But we have more infrastructure. It could be a good idea, but combined with others.
Okay, combine with other methods, yeah, or other strategies, yeah. So to combine is the verb and a combination is the noun.
Right.
Okay, thank you, Hugo. Thank you, Alberto. Let's see what Raphael has to say about Rio. Do you think this could work, Raphael?
No, this will never work here.
Why not?
Because it depends on several aspects. It depends on infrastructure, of public transport infrastructure. We don't have it. We don't have. We neither have. There's a lack of education of people. People won't respect this measure. Try to imagine 100 people who has an undeliverable appointment in our town, and they only can go by car. They don't have time to use another means of transport. So definitely they won't, and there's only 50 slots available for the people, and of course they want to respect this measure. It's difficult to see what will happen if they implement this system here. I think it's useless system. It won't bring benefits to people here, I think.
Okay, so you've mentioned some really good points, all of you. We're going to carry on reading just a little bit more, and I'll come to those of you who haven't spoken yet. So I'm trying to think. Amari, did you just read, or was it Alejandro? No, you just read, didn't you? Cool. Hugo, could you read the exact details for us, please?
The exact details about how price would work aren't important just yet. What's innovative about Roadrunner is the way it liberates the tracking system from infrastructure. Singapore now requires all vehicles to have a dash mount transponder, which is read by radio transmitter on one country. Overhead structures like the ones that hold road signs and traffic lights, built at entry points to congestion zones. Gao and Pe fit cards with responders roughly the size of a standard electronic device like EZ Pass or Fast Track. They run on 802.11, a standard similar to Wi-Fi but with a larger broadcast range, and communicate wirelessly with a central server. It may be possible to embed the technology directly into cell phones in the future.
Thank you, Hugo. That was very good reading. This one here is liberates. Great. All right, we're going to continue reading a little bit more. So, Raphael, the big advantage, please.
The big advantage to this system is that urban planners can actively manipulate the location of congestion zones in real time without the need for construction. With our system, you can draw a polygon on the map and say, I want this entire region to be controlled, God says. You could do one thing for a month and test it out, and then change it without having to dig up roads or rebuild gantries.
Could you keep going, please, Raphael?
That flexibility has some very interesting implications, says Sarah Kaufman, adjunct assistant professor of planning at New York University and digital manager at the NIU Running Center for Transportation. It could help to reroute drivers around major temporary events, such as UN sessions here in NIC that gum up traffic quite a bit. Tolling can be adjusted based on changing road priorities. The bit about the directions to avoid the demarcated zones is less impressive. Kaufman says, the problem I see is that a lot of people are not driving through congested areas, but to them. Because congested areas are where their jobs are.
Thank you. Very nice reading. Okay, so it brings up a few other points, and there's a little bit that Ugo read about the technology, and then we talk about the implications basically for this technology when there are temporary events, which is quite interesting. But it also says that the problem is not really that people are driving through these congested areas, but they're actually driving to them because they work there. So, let's see. Who haven't we asked yet? Amari, I'll ask you. And I forgot what I was going to ask you. Oh, yeah, in Guadalajara, you say that the traffic is relatively good. Are there any specific areas of the city that do get quite busy?
Quite busy. No, teacher. I don't visit all the parts in Guadalajara yet because I
Okay.
don't. I have 1 year to live here.
All right, so you haven't really been there for long enough to experience it all yet.
Yes.
Okay, let's ask Alejandro about Barcelona. Alejandro, do you think that this technology could help your city or not?
It's possible, yes. I don't see it, but it's sure that the authorities maybe here the authorities penalize everybody.
Yep.
There
What
are
do they? Yeah.
yes. What's the question?
I was just going to ask, what do they penalize everybody for, Alejandro? Is it for? How do they penalize them? Can you explain that a little bit further?
It's difficult. There are a lot of cars.
Mm-hmm.
They are a good way for taxes.
Yep.
And the system works in that way.
Okay, so you get taxed for a car in Spain, yeah? Yeah.
Very
I think
high.
it's the same. Okay, very high tax. That sounds similar to the UK, Alejandro. We have to pay very high tax in the UK. In New Zealand, it's not so high. How much is tax for a car in Colombia? Alberto, do you have to pay tax on very high tax for you to have a car?
Yes, maybe it's around 16% plus for the car. But if you get a car from another country, maybe you can pay 40%.
All right, so that's when you buy the car, right?
Yeah.
Do you have to pay a road tax, as in to keep your car running?
Yes, of course. A car around $300 for a year.
Okay. All right. And what
Yes,
about in
more or
Brazil,
less.
Rafael? How expensive is it for car tax?
Oh, it's really expensive. You pay lots of taxes. There's a lot of taxes related with automobiles, and it's hard to enumerate all of them, but I think I have to pay at least 10 different taxes about cars.
Wow, that is a lot.
Yes, and well, it's expensive. It's around. It depends on the value of the car. If it's a expensive car, the tax is higher. It depends on other aspects.
Okay.
But it's around 10% of the value of the car, I think.
My goodness gracious. Yeah, that's very expensive. All right, guys, we're going to have to finish off now. Don't forget to check the chat box. Feel free to read that last paragraph in the article and go through the article and check out any words that you think you can use yourself in the future. Well done for some very good reading and some very good speaking and some very good descriptions of what your city's like using some difficult terminology and stuff today. So really good from all of you. Next up, there's a writing class with me. If you feel like you want to practice some writing, then come and join me. And if you don't, then I hope I will see you again soon and have a great evening.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, teacher. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Amy. Thank you.
Bye.